Hello, everybody! Welcome to today's stream. I'm your host, Beagle Boy, your sheriff, and going around clockwise are a few guests. Go ahead and introduce yourself, lads.
Hello, I'm Mr. Dirt Mason.
Hey, yo, it is your boy Slick Link here.
Bastard.
Okay, now I feel like I got the, that should at least be on there for 36 minutes. But continue, guys. I just wanted to change the screen resting mode thing. My phone.
Alright, going over to be Firelord now.
I am called Firelord Curson. No need for me to introduce myself. Finally, you're next.
How's it going, guys? My name's No, I'm not.
Alrighty then. Now that we've introduced ourselves, welcome to Beagle Clan, the inaugural episode. How this is going to work is that we are going to take several key parts in media, whether that be resilience to movies, games, books, comics, anything related to types of media, whether it be a what if, a retrospective, or any kind of topic in general. To start off with, today's episode, we are going to start with a request from one of our crewmates. It'll be, what if Disney never bought out Marvel? For those of you who were not around in 2008, Marvel was going under some financial troubles and sold off a lot of their properties. Fox got a hold of X-Men, Fantastic Four, Sony got a hold of Spider-Man, Disney got a hold of the Avengers, and we all kind of know how history played out, but now we're going to think of a hypothetical on what if Disney never bought out Marvel. What would Marvel even look like? What would their movies have taken place? Creating a whole different Mandela effect. Somebody want to give their piece?
I like this idea. Well, for one thing, it wasn't Disney that got the Avengers. I mean, yeah, they got the Avengers then, but Paramount was supposed to have like the distribution rights to the Avengers, along with Iron Man, Captain America. Well, they're part of the Avengers, so you get the idea. But I think what would look like if Disney never bought Marvel is that Paramount would continue to have the film rights in terms of, not just the Avengers, but also the characters as a whole. I'm pretty sure they will have the rights to Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And, ever since Spider-Man was introduced to the MCU, I'm pretty sure, Paramount would share the film rights with Columbia. And so on and so forth. And if Marvel will ever get lucky, what would be really great is...
Sorry to interrupt, but your thing was echoing.
Oh, god damn it. I hate that.
I think what I would recommend is that if you actually mute yourself while Blue is talking so there's no echoing going around.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So anyways, continue, Blue.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is if they never bought Marvel, Paramount would still have the film rights. They have the rights to the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, the Avengers movies. They will also share rights with Columbia for the Spider-Man movies, and they might as well with the X-Men because, people wanted a Spider-Man and Deadpool crossover film. No. Fox has that, but they can always share the rights with Fox. It doesn't fucking matter. Not that Paramount should buy Marvel. No, I'm not saying that. But if Disney never bought Marvel, they will continue to own the distribution rights to the movies in terms of the MCU.
And that's true. I mean, if we're talking like that Disney should have never bought the Marvel because let's put it this way, okay? Disney, while they are the ones who has the distribution rights for Marvel stuff, they have X-Men. Well, technically, you could say a majority of the Marvel properties, except for a couple of few, like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, which they're owned by Fox. Fox told them, no, you can't distribute all the goddamn rights unless you pay us royalties to that. Which, in technical aspects of it, they did, but at the same time, I find it to be highly unreasonable for them to say, no, you can't include any of our characters if it's from Fox properties, which makes them look like an ignorant, which makes them look fucking stupid, and quite frankly, they're frustrating to work with. So the fact that we're discussing this now, that what Disney never bought out Marvel, is actually quite a compelling topic to even discuss about, and this is a pretty good start with that, Beagle Boy. No offense to you.
Okay, so that's a lot to take in. So to give my 2 cents onto this whole thing, the real big part that would probably be the most effective is, well, the MCU itself, starting with the very first Iron Man movie in 2008. Now, I don't know how much Disney was involved with that one, since at the time that's when Marvel was starting to have some financial problems necessarily. But I were to think that had Disney not got a hold of themselves, not got a hold of Marvel, chances are it would have likely been some other company who would have probably done so. And whether or not, so it's like, because how I mentioned that there were like 2 others that we brought up, Fox dealing with X-Men, and we already had Sony dealing with Spider-Man. So that being said, it's like you got a lot of these, unless if there is to be a cinematic universe that would happen, it would probably be like a lot more neutered down. Like, for example, there wouldn't be a Tom Holland Spider-Man, so it's like whether or not they would have gone back and forth between either Maguire or Garfield. And then you got the X-Men, which that's a whole other category in and of itself. So it's like you would have a bunch of like royalties and property rights that would basically be getting thrown all the way around, that, you know, whatever we imagine and love out of the MCU now is going to be completely watered down regardless.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be no Tom Holland. There'd probably just be like between like Tobey Maguire, which they did bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for what is it?
He did a pretty good Spider-Man in my opinion.
Yeah, what was that one movie? Because I remember watching it a while ago.
It was No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home. That was the one where they finally brought Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield into the MCU kind of universe with Tom Holland.
And you shouldn't forget Willem Dafoe and God damn
William
Dafoe.
Yes,
and Tobey Maguire would say, "I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye."
Oh, shut up, Slake.
I swallowed my drink fucking wrong after he said that.
I believe Tom Holland can still join the MCU without Disney owning Marvel. Mainly it's because, like, Tom Holland, believe it or not, was casted. What was casted into the MCU? I'm speaking like a retard tonight. Tom Holland was casted into the MCU months before Marvel Studios was placed under Disney Studios back in August of 2015.
Oh, damn, I didn't know
that.
I had no idea.
Well,
not only that, if Disney did not own, if Disney did not had Marvel, it would be less shitty too.
Oh, no, brought back.
Yes. Oh fuck! I almost forgot. It was Alfred Molina. God damn, Alfred Molina. I was thinking about him.
Here's a question. If not Disney, what other companies do you think would have been great of owning Marvel?
I feel like either Warner Brothers or Paramount would be a good option.
Well, not Warner Brothers. Mainly it's because they already own DC, and if they owned both DC and Marvel, you know, it's going to have lack of competition. And if there's going to be lack of competition, they're going to start giving you garbage.
Why can I not? Oh, I have to select the weapon. Okay, that's what it was. Sorry, I'm just
similar to.
Sorry, if I'm leaving, that's because it's my dogs. They're like
Okay, that's fine.
nothing, and it's getting annoying. You can hear it through my mic.
Okay, so continue, Blue. Continue, Blue.
It's similar to what happened back in 2001 when the WWF, now called the WWE, when they fucking bought out WCW and ECW. And ever since then, they stopped trying, and that's how they became shit.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that.
Well, yeah, I can agree with Blue on the whole, like, lack of competition produces more shit. But I would say if a company that's not Disney acquiring Marvel were to take place, I'd have to go with Sony on this one, since they have, like, quite the history. If not them, I would say because it's like, I could say Fox, but it's like,
Okay, there.
if we are to assume that Fox still gets bought out in this hypothetical, then it's just like, well, this just defeats the purpose of this whole discussion in the first place. So I would have to assume that Sony would probably be the one, just due to the history alone.
Well, you see, what if Fox did buy out Marvel, but Disney never got themselves involved?
Then I suppose there could be an argument to be had.
Didn't Disney buy back? I had this one. I think I saw an article about this. I'm not sure. Didn't Disney buy back the rights to Spider-Man from Sony?
Oh, that is.
What
Sorry,
you mean?
my phone keeps collapsing. Sorry about that.
I think I saw an article like that.
Are you talking about recently?
Yeah, recently. I don't know if it's true. I remember seeing an article about it.
I had no idea about that. I'm not sure if that's true, but I need to look into it.
Yeah, I need to look into it too, because I remember seeing some kind of article about that, and I got a little confused, and because I thought that like Sony owned Spider-Man, which they do, but they have to they have under the permission of like Marvel, like Disney.
I had no idea.
I have to look it up because I don't know if it was true or not, but some article. I forgot. It was a while since I've seen the article. I've only skimmed over it. I'm pretty sure Disney still owns Spider-Man, but I know Sony has like a deal like where they can make the video games, of course, with Insomniac.
Yes.
But I think the movie license, like for the I think it's for the live action actually, because I know that the the Into the Spider-Verse films are Sony Pictures, but they're different from the MCU.
See where this is going, Beagle Boy?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, even in that regard, like, yeah, Sony does own, like, Spider-Man, but, like, that's more the animated film, not the live-action one. Otherwise, that was why they had Holland for the MCU. But it's like, even in that aspect, I'd say with a company ownership, it probably would be like a pick your poison type of thing, because let's be frank here, Disney's not the only one who would have had, like, awful meddling when it comes to Marvel. Like, Sony was just as guilty of that. I'm pretty sure we've all heard the stories of how, like, their meddling is why directors like Sam Raimi had failed out when they tried to do their fourth Spider-Man movie, but then in 2010 he was just like, fuck this, I'm out. So I would say if Sony were to own that, we'd probably be seeing like more of executive meddling that ends up producing shit as a result. So that would just wind up being the norm. So it's like, in a way, you could kind of circle that back to like back at square one, I would feel.
Yeah. You know, and also doesn't like because Disney also owns like Loki, right? and I keep seeing ads for Loki season 2.
Oh,
Just
fuck's sake.
because they're starting to do like series of certain Marvel characters, like specifically.
They're literally
focusing
just
on-
gonna ruin it.
I never
They
seen any
already
of
did
these.
it with
to be honest.
Star Wars and Lion King for live action. That is.
Do not remind me.
I never seen the remake, so I don't know. I
Just
heard.
don't. Like I know it. I haven't seen it either, but I bet it's terrible.
The only thing I know about it is that Beyonce and John Oliver are in the movie.
Fuck that. Beyonce ruined Nala for me. And basically, if you haven't seen it, it's basically just a repeat of the original movie, but just with real life animals instead. Like, in some ways, you might as well just have that be like a documentary of actual, like, wild creatures and have some celebrity, like, I don't know, Morgan Freeman do so. Like, that would have been way better than that live action piece of trash.
Hey, before we go back on topic, I gotta ask, like, what's your beef with Beyonce, bro?
I just think her acting is not exactly that great. Like, it's just another sense of you get celebrity voices to play longtime characters, and it's like all for a cash grab. It's basically like, say, Chris Pratt as Mario.
I think Chris Pratt did great on Mario. If I'm
Same.
honest.
I feel like he did fine. He did pretty good. I know I would have liked the original voice actor, but again, the dude can't do the voice like 30 minutes or like he's out of breath.
Yeah. Like
Plus,
Jack
also,
Black, I will say
it
this.
would be weird to hear Mario speaking full sentences because he
I will
never
say
really
this.
does.
Jack Black did good as Bowser.
Well, Jack Black definitely fucking killed Bowser. You definitely did a fucking fantastic job.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I stop? Can I stop for a moment? Can I stop you all for a moment? This is an obligatory moment of Jack Black's clip. Gotta play this for a moment.
Well, anyway, yeah, I don't think Beyonce is that bad of an actress. I think she's really good at doing it. If you want an example, check out one of the Austin Powers movies she was in.
I'll have to check that out eventually. But anyways, back on topic. So, as we covered earlier, there would be a lot of executive meddling that would have gone on with Sony, and it basically would have just been more watered down movies every single time, to where we would just be right back where we started, and of course everything would just be under limbo with all the royalties part coming in. So we obviously know if Sony had bought it out, it wouldn't have exactly been much better. But if we were to assume that, say, Fox were to do so, and for whatever reason Disney decides not to get a hold of it, what would Fox even do with the other properties? Like, not just the ones that they've already had in their grasp, like X-Men, Fantastic Four. Fuck, was there ever any a good Fantastic Four movie? I don't even think so. Like, was there ever one that was good?
I think there was at least one. Come to think of it, there was. I don't even know if you would technically call it a good one for a Fantastic Four movie. As a matter of fact, let me actually check on that. Not the one that is from Piece of Trash Fantastic Four from 2015, because that's just flat out bad. Even with the race change, it's just flat out bad. And I wouldn't think I would approve of that at all. So, let me check on
Oh yeah,
that.
you're in my lobby. Okay. You know what? That.
Yeah, Caleb, I'm in your lobby. Don't start it though.
Oh, don't? Okay. I was gonna see we could try multitasking. It'd be fun. But yeah, it's fine. I was just testing out the firing range. But
So Beagle Boy, the one that I was looking for is Fantastic Four from 2005. That a lot of people were critically panning the goddamn movie. I just don't think it was a fair. I don't think it was a fair criticism to make for what people were saying. But do you honestly believe that the Fantastic Four from 2005 was that bad?
I'm gonna be frank, I did not know there was a 2005 version. I thought 2015 was the only one that ever existed, thinking that, well, obviously, Fantastic Four existed way before 2015, but was probably under some different media property, so that's why I was kind of saying in like a sarcastic tone, like, was there ever really a good one to begin with?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. But there's also a sequel for Fantastic Four from that is from 2007. So thought you should know about that. So even with that, big old boy, the Fantastic Four, while people were critically panning the goddamn movie, which I don't think, again, as I said, I don't think it was a justifiable reason to critically pan the game, just because it was that negative. I still find it to be a special place to be in my heart, despite how bad that movie was. And even Stan Lee made his cameo appearance in the movie at one point.
I mean, what's new? He's kind of cameoed in a lot of Marvel movies up until his passing. Rest in peace, Stan Lee.
Yes. Yes, rest in peace to that guy. All honesty, you can go ahead and say what you want to say.
It made me smile when I saw Stan Lee and Marvel Spider-Man, right? In that one scene where Peter and fucking MJ are in the restaurant.
Which Spider-Man?
Well, the Marvel Spider-Man, the Insomniac one, the one where Peter and MJ are in the restaurant, right? And fucking Stan is the clerk or whatever. He goes, "I like you kids," right? Or so he says something like that, and it just made me smile because it's like he's immortalized in the games and his movies. Because if you watch most of the Marvel movies, right, he always makes a cameo in some way, so he's always immortalized in those movies.
Yes. And even one game, there's even one game I can actually remember off the top of my head. One that is from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. One that he's as a Senator Lieber. He said, "Senator Lieber from New York State. Good to meet you. You've done us a great service. You heroes are okay in my book. Maybe we should registration business on hold." Like that.
Oh yeah, I probably never played Marvel Alliance 2. I played Marvel Alliance 1.
Matter of fact, you really should play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 at this given point. There's no excuse not to play the goddamn game, even though it's taken off so. Or you should definitely get that fucking game for yourself. Do yourself a favor.
I'll get the first one and the second one because the first one I had nostalgia for.
Well, that's good. That's good. So going back with the topic. So yeah, Beagle Boy, I do believe that two of the movies are from the mid 2000s for the Fantastic Four movie. Well, yes, it was critically panned because of critics were saying this is just not a good movie. It's just flat out bad. They had no idea what the direction they were going for. Oh, so you like 2005 movie of Fantastic Four Blue?
What's that?
You actually like the 2005 version of Fantastic Four?
No, I just felt like pointing that. It was.
Wasn't that the first Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
The first
But I want to say that, the first Fantastic Four, it was okay, not good, not bad. It was okay. I mean, I did think that Julia McMahon did a wonderful job playing Dr. Dim.
Oh yeah, certainly. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes to, I've never really watched much Fantastic Four. I just grew up with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man when I was younger.
Like if you know who if you know who Julian McMahon is, you would know that he's the same guy that played Christian Troy from the show Nip Tuck.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Great show.
Imagine him as Kratos.
What the fuck? Boy.
Hi, sorry to interrupt, but we got one of our first guests on here just to say hey, what's up, Supreme? Glad you were able to come on. Glad you were able to stop by and say hey.
So on this particular matter, Beagle Boy, they had at least some. They at least did have a Fantastic Four movies prior to being bought out by Disney. Beagle Boy. So at least there's that bit of information that you wanted to know.
Okay, so I do stand corrected. There was more than just the 2015 movie. But like even then when I meant like ever like good one, I meant like was the 2005 one like ever critically panned, or did it ever like financially do well? Like that was basically where the comment was coming in, like how much it made in the box office, how much critics, liked it, because I couldn't really find anything for myself. So I was basically saying if there wasn't really a good Fantastic Four style movie, or not style, but like if there was a good like Fantastic Four movie, and if X-Men was like all over the place, Lord knows what they could have done to like all the other like properties.
I'm sorry, but can I mention this?
Okay, I found it. At the box office, it made 33,000. I think it made 3,300 million.5. Like 300.
I'm sorry, this may be a bit off topic. Can
Actually, hold
I
on.
say this?
Let me just. I can't. I'm trying to read this number, but I kind of can't. Here, I'll just screen share it.
Pull up his screen share for Mason at Beagle Boy. Why is that? Because he does actually some information to that.
Yeah, so it made this much at box office.
Okay, so compared to the average, it's probably like not bad, but certainly not really something that they were hoping for, I would imagine. Like, obviously how it makes financially, and then how much it makes like, critically, because it's like I'm also seeing on the other ends there like 5 out of 7 IMDb, 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's like, yeah, it obviously didn't. But like compared to the 2015 version, it probably was like a bit better, but it's not saying much either. So it was just lukewarm at best.
So there you have it. And because that movie was kind of critically panned, just because that movie was given negative reviews doesn't mean it's really that fucking bad. I mean, hell, I even watched the fucking movie. So does that make me a fucking Marvel Fantastic Four fanboy? No, the hell I'm not. But the fact that I did watch that just made me feel that I was able to watch that even in the theaters. So it doesn't make me any of a goddamn fanboy at all. So anybody who says I'm a fucking fanboy on that, they could get the hell out of here. Because that statement right there is just flat out ignoring them. So at least I do have a bit of a heart of my own, just to make sure that I watched that movie, and I have fulfilled it. I fulfilled watching that movie, and I almost wish they actually produced more of a Fantastic Four, but it's so criminally underrated movie that I honestly feel that they should have kept the same formula as how it was in the mid 2000s.
Well, even then, who would possibly direct it then? If we're still to add it to the topic, like if they were to still continue with Fantastic Four, who exactly would be the best bet to direct it and, make sure it's done right?
You're actually correct, Beagle Boy. You're actually correct.
I mean, that was more of a question, not really a statement, but it's also kind of a more open end. So, like, not just you, Fire Lord, but like all three of you are good to. Well, I meant all four of you are, good to say your part on that as well.
I think if it was made today, I'd probably know it'd be an MCU movie by Marvel and Disney at some point, or They would make it. They put it on Disney Plus and make it some TV show series. Like there's either two ways they'll go. Either they'll make a movie or they'll make a series out of it.
And it's gonna be shit.
Depending on, it probably would, because how Disney's been running the MCU now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, No Way Home was a pretty good MCU movie that I've watched in a while, but I haven't watched any other MCU. I mean, I watched Wakanda Forever, or what's that? Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Maybe.
Yes.
I watched the first Black Panther before.
That one was. I mean, it was a fun movie. It was all right, but I wouldn't say it was the greatest movie ever, as some people claimed it was. It was a good movie, at least. I mean, it was a good way to honor Chad Boswick, but I heard some people praising this movie as the best movie ever or something like that. But no, it was a fun.
I like Black Panther.
Yeah, I think because I remember one time when my first introduced to Logan, which was basically just Wolverine, right? And I thought that was a really good movie because it was my first introduction to kind of getting into the MCU stuff.
That was a great movie, yeah.
But I didn't really get into watching Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. That wasn't really my thing. I like the Avengers, but I never watched those movies.
Oh, by the way, Mason, if you if you want another really good X-Men movie, I recommend Days of Future Past. That one is one of my all-time favorites.
All right, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Also, if I can make a suggestion, if you want to try to go with the classics for an X-Men movie, this is actually one I remember watching a bit when I was younger. It's called X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I think was late 2000s or mid.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. So it's if you want a good recommendation, I would recommend that one if you do get a chance.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it when I can.
I heard that X-Men Origins of Wolverine was shit.
Well, this is the first I'm hearing of that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good one at first. I thought, the reason why they didn't continue on with it was because I thought they were trying to do it as a anthology in the way that, how they tried to do with Rogue One as the, anthology for Star Wars. I thought that was what they tried to do with X-Men Origins Wolverine, but, I thought, me at the time wasn't paying attention to, film reviewers, with critic scores and how it does financially. So I really could not tell you.
But anyway, so if you're going to watch Days of Future Past, Mason, I recommend going on some pirating websites because on Disney Plus, they cut out, they somehow cut out the scenes with Rogue in it. But I mean, then again, I can understand why, because the movie theaters did not even, because the movie theaters also cut out the scenes with Rogue due to time limiting or some shit like that. But yeah, the scenes with Rogue, or as I like to call it, the Rogue, the Rogue Cut edition. It's late at night. I'm tired. It would give you an actual good idea of what's going on.
Oh, okay. I think I do also remember this too, but there is supposed to be a another Deadpool that's actually supposed to come out next year, Deadpool 3. I'm just looking this up because I remember seeing when I was watching. I don't remember what movie I was watching, but they had this trailer for some kind of the Marvels. I think that's what it was. And it had something to do with Nick Fury. because Nick Fury apparently is always in these MCU movies, like literally. Like, I've been noticing a pattern where Nick Fury would show up and recruit the fucking person right into his like shield operation, right, kind of leading up to like Endgame or whatever the fuck it is. And apparently, what I'm seeing right now, they're supposed to have a new Avengers called Avengers Secret Wars that's supposed to come out in 2027. And then Avengers The Kang Dynasty is supposed to come out 2026.
So basically, they're doing a repeat of what Infinity War and Endgame did, where one is gonna lead into another.
Yeah, so I think like the Kang Dynasty and like is gonna be the first part, and then like Secret Wars is gonna be like the sequel or whatever to the second part of that. And then they're making a sequel to Let There Be Carnage in 2024, which I'm actually excited for. I actually did watch Venom 2, and I really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, I mean, that being said, I just have to kind of question, like, why are they doing more Avengers if Endgame was supposed to be like the grand finale per se? I mean, sure, obviously, if they were to do more, they wouldn't be having like, Iron Man, Captain America, all the ones we've come to know and love. But in a way, that just seems kind of a bit redundant. But I
bet you it's supposed to be like backstory stuff. I bet you're supposed to be like, oh, well, here's some story we didn't explain throughout the timeline. It's prequel bullshit, right? Before Endgame, like, I think that's what they're doing.
That to me sounds like some expanded universe like type of shit. Slick, Firelord, you guys want to say your part on the whole, like, why they're doing more Avengers if Endgame was supposedly the last one? Like, got anything to say on that?
Well, even though I haven't watched the majority of all the Avengers movies that has been produced for the Marvel Cinematic Universe or MCU, or in certain cases MCU, it sounds so fucking corny when I say that. I haven't watched the majority of all Avengers movies of that, but it started to become stale in some capacity whatsoever. Even with the Endgame, which was supposed to be the very last one, it still ended up continuing on with it, even after the last movie that was supposed to be the end of it. But to be honest, as I said, it's starting to become stale. And I honestly wish that they need to stop doing that. They need to move on and doing other movies that they need to do for Marvel specifically. I mean, yeah, sure. If we're gonna have to talk about Disney bought Marvel, then I would absolutely 100% understand that. If it has not been, if there wasn't going to be any event interested in the movie, which technically, if there was going to be not a yearly event Avengers movies, but more so in how they will be able to do the research that requires a lot of time and effort to put it into that without any kind of interference by Sony or Disney, any of that. So that kind of idea that might actually have some semblance of sense because they need to do a bit of research how this all played out, even in those older days that we come to know from all those gems that have been going around because of that, there are stones that are like that. How does this even work? Yada yada yada. So, in order to ensure that doesn't revolve around stone gems of that kind whatsoever, unless you want to correct me on that, they have to make sure how does this work? How the hell is this going to work out? Yes.
I wanted to say, I feel like the reason why they keep making an Avengers movie because it's their moneymaker. Like, regardless of how stale it gets, people come and watch that shit regardless. They eat it up.
But that still is stale.
Yeah, exactly. It's still going to be stale. It doesn't matter.
Well, even then, I would say even if it does get stale, it's just going to wind up. What? Okay, apparently Slick just ended up coming off.
I think his thing froze or something like that. I can let me message him.
Yeah, go ahead. Anyways, so it's like, yeah, even if it gets stale, that just means like the staler it gets, the more watered down it's gonna wind up becoming. Because now, obviously, you're just gonna create a whole new divide between like, oh, Avengers was good with movies XYZ before this point, but then like you'll get some that are like generations like younger than even our ages who will wind up saying like, oh, these were just so hated on before, we're never really given a fair chance type of thing. And it's just like, you know, where exactly are you going to draw? So it's like, take D&D for example. Like you had first, second, and third edition, which were all like seen as good, and then you got fourth edition, which had its fans, but some of the older fans basically just did not like it, and you know it created a whole different divide. But like the way that I see that with, you know, Avengers is that you're gonna wind up probably seeing that happening like regardless of any generation. That probably happens once, you know, they get older, they start having a voice in their own community, etc. But like how it ties back to this topic is basically that obviously if there were to be an Avengers style movie made, it wouldn't be exactly the way like we've all seen it. We've already discussed like, would it be watered down? Would it still hold up? So it's like, in a way, and since they can't really use every single character in a non-Disney buyout, it's like you could kind of tell that that universe would probably be a lot more smaller on scale per se. I mean, it already kind of is in our reality, but still.
Yeah. Just message him. I'm probably gonna call him real quick if you don't mind.
Okay, you do that, Mason.
All right, yeah, because I know his kind of froze up. It kicked him out. Blue said that he was going to head out for now. He might come back, so that's going to be a bit iffy.
Yes, but I honestly think so. To put it in my perspective, Beagle Boy, I think that yes, it's their money making, but they really need to lay off of that the goddamn Avengers because it starts to water it down. They cut a lot of content in there that obviously would have been there, would have been interesting, but we would have seen it. Bed. Okay, there you are. It's like
I just joined back. Yeah, I was cleaning some shot glass dishes. They're plastic.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes.
But well, do you do Monster Hunter first?
So, I still think that Beagle Boy. That to me, whether they would have decided that they would continue doing this or not, I obviously think that they need to lay off of that and do a bit of a different avenue they have not yet explored. Which to me, that would have been a very different one. I mean, for Christ's sake, look at the Guardians of the Galaxies that they have done. They've done a fantastic job on that for at least two of them. Matter of fact, having Dave Bautista in here.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Caleb had a little issue with thing exit out for some reason.
I might have cleaned dishes for a bit because I wanted to try and clean up the shot glasses. But oh yeah, funny thing is that Dollar. This might be a bit off topic, but can I mention this real quick?
Caleb, mute yourself on your PlayStation because I can hear you through my headphones.
Oh, sorry. You can mute me, right? All right, never mind. I'll just do it. But I wanted to mention this real quick. The funny thing is that when I was at Dollar General, someone liked my shirt because I was wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt with a Gogeta of a GT. And then when I was about to exit out of Dollar General, he's like, Naruto's better. I was like, boy. It was a Dollar General employee when I was checking out my shit. And It was funny because like I almost got triggered because because of Naruto, because he said Naruto is better, and I'm like, boy.
Okay, well, that's certainly an
Wait, did some
interesting topic. Well, that was an interesting story, but
It really was. Like I was like,
oh, sorry,
Dollar
go
General
ahead.
story for today.
Just $1 away. But anyways, could you repeat what your point was, Firelord, since I couldn't hear it earlier now that we had Slick back on?
Yeah.
Damn. Fuck. Hell. So I don't know what to. I don't know what to make of this. So what I'm trying to say is, to be quite honest, I think they really need to go on a different avenue for what they need to deal with. What I would have to say, look at the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They done a fantastic job on that. They even had a Dave Bautista in here as Drax the Destroyer, obviously, which is a bit of a different story, but you get the idea. So to me, I think they've done a fantastic job on that. So there are other comic books they have not yet explored that they really need to make a movie on that. I mean, for Christ's sake, look at the Ghost Rider. They had Nicolas Cage as John Blaze as the goddamn as a goddamn Ghost Rider.
So your overall point is that you think if Marvel wasn't under Disney, then we would have had like not necessarily like more classics, but like more variety and probably in a way like more competition to help innovate cinema in a way. Like, I mean, obviously that'll probably be for a whole other stream all in itself. But am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, you're understanding that correctly because without the leadership of Disney, they would actually have a competition for that between Marvel and DC. I'm just saying that because in all honesty, even if Disney would have interfered in that, I still think Marvel will be able to have that kind of competition against any other comic book related universes that we could think off the top of our head. So to me, that would have been an extra slot that they would have to explore some comic books they have not yet explored, and I think they would have done some movies on that based on those comic book stories for that. So there's at least that. And although I'm a former comic book fan, that still doesn't stop me from loving it. But even then, with the recent problems that's been going around, damn, just absolute damn.
All right, that's definitely one take to consider, and I'll give you that. It probably would, like, there probably would be some upsides to the hypothetical that, you know, more competition, other smaller known properties would probably be given a chance. However, this might be kind of a hot take, but if we didn't have Disney owning them, some of the smaller known properties would probably not have really kicked off in any sort of way because of how brought to life Disney was. Like, I'll give an example. Before Disney bought out Marvel and was doing the MCU, I've never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought the first one was a good. Well, I didn't finish the first one all the way through, but I did watch the second movie and, of course, the third one. I thought they were pretty good. Like, whatever like a post Endgame MCU is, I thought it really was pretty good. But I can't say in good conscience that I would have known what it was had it not been for Disney. Like, yeah, I would have known like all the other like more notorious ones like Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, you know, like maybe all the others, but it's like, you know, for frick's sakes, like I wouldn't be able to know what, say, Guardians of the Galaxy was had it not been for Disney. And I'm sure maybe there are probably better examples to that if I'm being frank.
Mm-hmm. I totally get what you mean by that.
Yeah. I don't know. I have not watched. I don't think I watched any of the Guardian of the Galaxy movies. I should.
I've only seen like memes of it. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I've seen is memes.
Yeah, I would say it's an acquired taste.
I know
So
there's comedy in it, and I know Batista's in it. That's one of the things I know for a fact is that Batista's in it.
Yes, as Drax, obviously.
I think he does his Batista bomb in the movie too. That's what I heard. I think I heard he does do it. Like he does do his signature fucking finisher from WWE. He like does it to one of the enemies.
Well, damn.
I'm not sure. I have to look this up. Let me look this up because I swear this.
It would have
is a
been
real
funny
thing.
if he did like the surplex, like how in Resident Evil 4, Leon did the surplex to those
Well, you know what's
Ganados.
funny? The Rock even does like his finisher move in the Fast and Furious movies. Let me look this up.
Oh, crap. Beagle Boy, ZTP is online.
Is he?
fucking finally.
ZTB?
I just witnessed him online, and I told him, ZTP, you online? Get your ass on straight.
Yes, he's in. Oh boy. Now let's get the one and only, what we hope to be, the Samuel L. Jackson of these strings here. Maybe that'll hopefully like try to. I mean, based on what I've heard through Firelord, with how he responds, I can just imagine him at one point, probably like just messing around, and could probably hear him say something like, "I don't remember asking you a damn thing."
Well, at least he's not like Bill Cosby.
Look like. Does he look like a bitch? What country you from? What ain't country I ever heard of?
God damn, Mason.
They speak English and what? English, motherfucker! Do you
God
speak
damn.
it?
Say what? Say why again? I dare you, motherfucker. Say why again.
It would just be perfect just to see Nick Fury just go off on one of his soldiers doing the fucking say what again? Say what again? I dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker! And just fucking like kills the guy.
Basically, be like, "English, motherfucker, do you speak it?"
Fucking English, motherfucker.
Fucking English, motherfucker. Big one check is it to be on the street car.
This is a tasty
Shit.
burger.
Well, I'm not seeing like one of his. Well, I'm not seeing like his add to stream things like with Slick earlier. He did just message in StreamYard saying I'm in and then tag my name. And so I said, all right, stream link is above there, referring to the one that you had just posted.
Yeah.
Caleb, your screen froze.
Yeah, it's on that sleep mode. I've heard for 30 minutes. There we go.
Come on, ZTV, I really need you to be here.
Well, I mean, just
I can't wait to show ZTV my Alucard bundle.
Okay, I will give ZTV some time to show although we could have started this a little later than usual, but I suppose it's somewhat better later than ever.
Yeah, so I mean, with him coming on a bit later, we'll probably just like recap everything that happened with him, and we'll let him say his part on the subject. Let him give his take.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
we absolutely need to give him a bit of a take on that. So just to recap everything what we have spoke about.
Right.
ZTB in a motherfucking house.
Fucking go.
I was about to say something else, but I don't think that would really come off as appropriate.
Why? Why?
Well, YouTube's been strict, so it's whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at least I did leave
too
my
strict.
channel as not for kids anyway, which is why I had to start quoting Samuel L. Jackson. That way, Kappa doesn't get on my ass for this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, pretty much.
I always have my channel on made for kids and shit.
Yeah, I usually have mine on as not for kids, like, just in case, like, after the stream, like, anybody who wants to leave a comment, can. Like, we did have a few live watchers on earlier, but they were kind of, like, just bouncing, like, back and forth. But, like, I'm sure anybody who will try to watch this will probably watch it, like, after it goes off.
Like, kids shouldn't be even on this platform. This is why we have YouTube Kids for a reason.
Thank you!
What's even
Exactly.
worse, though, is that YouTube Kids is even worse because you look at the shit that's on there, dude, it's fucking nasty.
Don't tell me it's anything
let's not
else
forget the fucking
related.
gotcha cringe.
Dude, it's like, oh, I don't want my kids on YouTube, then don't fucking give them YouTube. Oh, my kid was watching this one guy cursing and stuff like that. I'm gonna blame the YouTuber. No, that's your fault.
Yeah, no. I'm just gonna say, if any parent ever tries to have their kid come on my channel and basically say, hey, I don't like how this guy who tries to act like he's a fucking dog saying all this shit about Samuel L. Jackson, and now it's got my kid acting up like this. Bitch, I'm not your kid's babysitter. Get that shit out of here. Other than that, draw.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. You got Blue back here.
Yeah, so what did I miss?
Well, to be fair, we did kind of go a bit off topic at points. We did just get a message from ZTB saying that he, like, on Discord, like, the group chat saying that he would possibly be on, though Firelord is still trying to work on that. But, basically, we kind of discussed that, like, because we did also kind of rant a bit on the Avengers, like, segment, how there's supposed to be, like, 2 more, and how we kind of mentioned, like, the staler it gets, the more
Watered down it gets.
Watered down it gets, yeah. And so that's where we kind of traced it back to, like, how if there was more, like, without Disney, there would be more competition and therefore more ways to improve cinema, which is probably going to be for a separate stream altogether. So that's basically kind of what you missed.
Okay, well, the last part you mentioned, I actually do agree.
All right, well, speak your piece, man.
Okay.
Why isn't anybody talking?
Oh, man.
Well, I gave the floor to Blue on that one because I thought he needed to say something on that. But anyways, basically we were also like, somehow that turned into a whole like rant on YouTube versus YouTube Kids. Basically,
Yes.
I kind of was saying some, and apparently I was saying like some Samuel L. Jackson type shit.
What?
Look at the private chat.
Oh my gosh, Blue! Oh, that just got dark real quick. Oh.
I honestly can't believe that you went down
speechless a little
that.
bit.
I honestly can't believe you went that. I honestly can't believe that you went that down, Blue.
Well, what can I say other than he's blue, dabba dee dabba da, dabba dee dabba da, dabba dee dabba da. Okay, that was
Jesus
probably
Christ.
fucking cringe.
You know what? That I'm gonna make. You know what? If I ever make a stream again, I'm gonna make a one where it's a rant stream about Twitter.
Oh, hell yes. I would so love to see that.
It's mostly gonna be the most recent event about fucking
They want to.
Elon Musk deciding to get rid of all NSFW content.
Yeah, they want to pull a Tumblr.
They're pulling a Tumblr, yeah.
I mean, everyone else will just find another platform. Oh, hold on. We got the man, the myth, the legend himself.
ZDB. Here we go, guys. What's going on?
Yo, what's up?
I am so sorry, but like they say, save the best for last.
Oh, no worries. Oh, no worries.
Exactly.
Oh, no worries, my friend. You're good. So to give you a bit of a recap, as we were kind of just screwing around as we were waiting for you to get on, we kind of proposed the topic on what if Disney never bought out Marvel, and we were kind of discussing, like, would it be a pick your poison type of thing? Should somebody, like, say, Fox or Sony try to obtain the properties? Or would it be, like, encouraging more competition and therefore give smaller known properties a boost? So I kind of want to hear what your take on this is. What would you think would have happened?
Well, I think it definitely would not have the family aspect that Disney usually brings, because Disney is all about, contributing with children watching their programs, and if it's movies, children are incorporated with it. So I feel like if Disney never bought it, like someone had said, Paramount would bought Marvel, and they would have still did the same thing Disney did.
So you're saying it would be more or less the same, but instead of it being demographics with, children and families, it probably would have been like more teenagers, young adults.
Yeah, it would be like for teenagers, young adults, yeah. Because Disney, it gravitates towards children. So that's all what Disney does. So you're going to get a bigger following and a bigger fan base just for having Disney advertise your product. Because that's all Disney marketing is about. They like to advertise for the kids. Corrupting the youth. I'm just joking. But they do it for the children. And it doesn't matter if like Paramount or Fox would have bought Marvel, because either way they would still have to cater to the younger audience. So I would say in general, Marvel would be mostly for like young people and young people only.
Okay, well, I guess I'll give you that
fuck
one.
yourself,
I mean, Blue.
Typical Tricky.
Here we go. It's Trick to rock around, that's right on time. It's
Tricky. Tricky.
It's Trick to rock around.
Imagine if Wolverine said that quote to the Japanese person he's trying to save during the Hiroshima bombing, like before he closes the tank, he goes, "Go fuck yourself," and then he shuts the damn
I saw
thing.
what you did there, Mason. You think you slick? I saw that.
I mean, hey, why would you think
That's
Mason
actually
is slick when
Love
you
you for
already
that,
have
though.
a slick
Catch that on
bastard
footage.
as a
You guys know
boss?
what
What?
the scene I'm
What was
talking
it
about?
about?
I'm talking about. You know what the scene I'm talking about? The Japanese soldier that's like witnessing the fucking bomb going off in the city, right? And then Wolverine
Yeah.
shows up, right, and saves him. Imagine if like you said that, like, go fuck yourself after he fucking slams the thing and lets the soldier die.
Perfect way to say a good coup de grace.
Coup d'etat. Actually, I need to do a bit of impersonation of Wolverine. Go fuck yourself. Not a good.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
Nah. He's better than that. He doesn't sound like you, though.
Damn it, tricky.
Damn.
The roasting is over 9,000 here.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, the roasting is over 9,000. And no offense, Blue, when I made the 2-song roast to you, it was nothing against you, man. I was just fucking around.
You made 2 song roasts?
Yeah, where I mentioned Blue being the whole. What can I say other than
I thought.
Blue, da-ba-dee,
No,
da-ba-da.
I thought.
And then how the tricky part when ZTV
No,
said
I
like
thought.
that's
thought-
tricky for you.
No.
Tricky.
I thought you were a musician. At first, I was like, wait, you do songs?
Yeah, well, I mean, I used to sing in choir, but it's like that's why I usually kind of like sing whenever I'm fucking around with somebody. If that makes sense.
Well, so ZDB, on part of the aspect that I mentioned about it, had it actually went through Paramount that would have been distributed for all the Marvel properties, I figured there would have been a more competition there. Yeah, it may be similar to that how Disney's doing, but I think Paramount would be the better distributor for everything else of what Blue was saying. All right,
I actually disagree with you there. I think Disney is like the perfect company to have the rights for Marvel.
No, I disagree with that.
Can I explain why? Can I explain why?
Fire, let him speak. Sorry about that.
Because let me tell you why. Hold on. Let me tell you why. So Disney, again, it caters to children, but it doesn't just cater to children, but caters to all ages. We're talking about amusement parks, the actors going to press conferences and tours, going to see the fans. And what better company than Disney to do that? Disney has a wide range distribution, plus their money is nearly infinite, so they'll never go out of business. You never know if Paramount will go out of business, if Fox will go out of business. Disney will never go out of business. Trust when I say this. Disney has like a dark hole abyss of money that is so deep, as deep as someone's butthole. That's how deep it is.
I disagree with that assessment.
That's the way to put it.
It's deep. It's deep and anal. That's how Disney money is. Like, you can't find where the end game.
I disagree with that assessment. They're losing goddamn money, even if you think that they do have an infinite amount of money. Hate to burst your bubble, but they're losing a lot of goddamn money. They lost it because of a fucking goddamn what is it? The theme park. They lose a lot of goddamn money on fucking MC.
Well, they lost that because of Ron DeSantis. Florida is turning into a fascist state.
I don't care about that. Let's just avoid politics, as Beagle Boy made it abundantly clear on that.
No, but it's not really politics because we're talking about the amusement park.
Well, I get that, but there are
I'm just gonna say. Sorry to interrupt you, Violet, but I'm just gonna say, like, before we get into that debate, like, just try to tread carefully on that one, because I just literally saw it in the muted. I was like, okay, this is gonna get heated. I better say something about this. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, I was getting back to it. The economy in Florida is declining because of the, Ron DeSantis and the whole, censoring everything that's woke. So there's few people coming to Disney World, and thus it's not really because of Disney's fault. It's actually just because of, Ron.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So, you go ahead, bigger boy.
Yeah, well, anyways, I would say, like, knowing Disney at this rate, with how much money they have, like how ZTB was mentioning, the dark hole abyss that they have in terms of like money. It's like the other part to that is they never seem to keep their eggs in one basket sort of way. Like I'm sure we've all heard other people talk about like how they are creatively bankrupt, how they seem to come up with less newer ideas that in order to stay relevant, okay, well maybe not stay relevant, but like
Like they
some
come with
other term that's
rebuttals,
similar.
I mean, sorry, not rebuttals, reboots, and they just constantly make reboots of older content that already exists instead of making brand new content. And that's really because of the writer's strike. The writer's strike is also putting effect to content creativity, so they lose money, they lose revenue, just by not having writers creating new content for them. So that was really a low blow to make them have less business in that field.
Well, not just that, but I
I mean,
meant
just look
more
how they
so
did
like.
Star Wars and Lion King remake.
Well,
Like
yeah, but
Disney
I meant
is
more.
milking the shit out of Star Wars. Like that's really their biggest IP that they can use to make more money.
Well, yeah, I mean that was kind of my more so point, like not because of the recent events, like what you were just bringing up, ZTV, but it's like the fact that they have to like keep trying to absorb all these other like companies in order to like stay like relevant. Like 20 years, like 20 years ago, like
Huge
Disney
Star
was kind of
Wars
going through
fetish.
like
Huge.
not like a dark age necessarily, but it was like
Horse better.
if you take like 2001 for example, it looked like they had like a pretty serious threat from DreamWorks with Shrek. But even then, that wasn't because of DreamWorks. Well, not because of DreamWorks, not because of Disney going down. It was more so because they didn't own Pixar at the time, and Pixar was already making themselves well known with the pioneers to 3D animation. So it was like you had two others, or one and a half in this case, already kicking them down as is. So Disney already kind of like, took the Uno reverse card, buy out all your properties to prevent something like that from occurring, which is why we're stuck in the situation where we have now, like Blue mentioned in the private chat. Disney has a Star Wars fetish. Well, it's not just Star Wars, but it's like they have a fetish for like literally any and all their properties that they didn't originally make, but originally that they bought.
Can you name some, for example?
I mean, let's look at the nursery rhymes and like the Brothers Grimm tales that they talk about. What was one? Sleeping Beauty. That's not Disney, but Disney brought the franchise and used it to create a more family-friendly version of those old stories that they used to tell during that time. So what we see here is just revisionism, and then Disney is just making it family-friendly, sort for a wide distributed audience.
Well, not just that.
I remember
but
the
it's
Jungle Book before his childhood.
That was
Well,
my
yeah, not
childhood.
just
That was
that,
my
and
shiz.
that's
Yeah.
and that's kind of why Disney is one of the biggest flipping hypocrites on this whole like copyright law thing. Like they won't let
Hypocrites
any of their
with
properties go
infinite money.
Okay.
And the best lawyers money can even buy.
Okay. Can I
They got
actually stop-
lawyers that they can cover up any sort of crime with the amount of money they have.
Okay, can I actually stop there because this is a good segue right there, Beagle Boy.
segue for what?
Because since somebody mentioned, someone mentioned about the copyright laws, this is a good segue for me to talk about that.
All right. Well, basically, I was gonna say like because Disney is one of the biggest hypocrites when it comes to the copyright law, as is. It basically like they won't let any of their properties go into the public domain, but they always find like some sort of like loophole that allows them to make other properties that they themselves like don't even make. Like Jungle Book should not have existed. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like their first ever animated film that was in theaters in like the late 30s, that should have never existed. And then there was one more. I don't remember the name of it
Winnie the Pooh.
entirely, and my mind's going all over the place. But anyways,
Is Winnie the Pooh even made from Disney?
What?
What?
No.
Like,
No, I've
not
heard someone say
originally,
you
but
need
like
food for
before going into theaters. But like even then, Disney has always been known to like water down the original like properties that they make.
Yep,
movies
because
of.
they have to make it family friendly, and that's why they did so. Because if they show it in its originality, parents, you got the soccer moms, the Karens are probably complain, this is too bad for my children. They can't see this amount of gore. Oh, the story triggers people, so they
What
have
about,
to make it family friendly.
Like, where's your manager?
Wait. What about the Wolverine?
I don't think my kid should be watching this.
Yeah, well, prepare to see that. Yeah, well, ZTV, prepare to see them come on this channel and basically hear all 6 of us saying, "Ooh, you shouldn't be saying that. My kids watch your content. Get the fuck out of here."
You're indoctrinating my kid with your woke politics shit.
Or basically they'll say like not just like wokeism, and this is the only time I'm mentioning
Fake
this
woke.
on my channel. Like
A fake
not
woke.
only like they'll mention like, "Oh, you're indoctrinated all the whole boomer humor." Get the fuck out of here. If people find this shit funny, who gives a fuck?
I mean, as long as you're not teaching the kids how to kill people or, provocative sex, it's all Gucci. If you want to have devil imagery, put it in there. It ain't hurting anybody.
Well, if
In fact, Disney
violence
actually
is
still
devil-
does that, but they do it subtly.
Well, if devil imagery and violence and gore are what kids are into, then prepare for next episode for when we talk about Mortal Kombat. Because
There were even, like,
there
you know what?
is
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm sorry, but this just reminds me. Since he said about something about the kids like blood and gore, I just fucking realized something. Back in the fucking 80s, kids liked horror movies. They were even rated R and shit.
They used to have posters of Nightmare on Elm Street where they had Freddy Krueger and his bloody hand impaling someone. And
Exactly.
people from the 1980s, kids from the 1980s, they were big fans of Nightmare on Elm Street. It was a cult classic, even though kids not supposed to be watching it, but it garnished more kids' viewers because they would watch it secretly when their parents are not even noticing that they're watching it.
Not
So
just that, but like what's it called? The one with Jason. I keep forgetting the fucking movie's name. God damn! It's with Jason
Friday the
Voorhees.
13th.
Yes, thank you.
The unlucky day.
I don't know why I said. I almost thought of it as like Friday at Lake City or some shit like that. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Because you're thinking of Crystal Lake, which is in Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Bitch.
Well, I'd say to bring my overall point is kids are very impressionable. You can literally like have a property that's meant to be for an adult. Like I'll use Nightmare on Elm Street, like ZTB was mentioning. You could probably have like I'd say kids are like very impressionable. It's not just like because they like try to do it to like hide it from like their parents. They try to do it because they think, oh, that's the new cool thing. Oh, we want to be just like how these older guys that we look up to do. Therefore, we're going to try to watch this. And then, like, as soon as they witness it, they're like, what was I thinking?
You take the risk, you got to pay the consequences.
Oh, no doubt
Exactly.
about that.
Karma could be a bitch.
No, Blue, if you took over Disney, we would have an instant repeat of the year 2005 over and over and over and over and over again.
What do you mean?
Yeah, actually,
We will
I
have
wanna
no
hear what
change
his-
from 2005.
I actually want to hear his plan for 2005. So, Blue, floor is yours.
Nah, I can still update it into something new and new and fantastic.
But the era of nostalgia will always be in that time. It'll be more revamped, but still be in 2005-ish.
And,
I'm letting my
well,
phone charge, so I will likely be playing this off screen.
Well, I wouldn't allow the shitty live action remakes we get nowadays. So
Hell to the motherfucking no.
I would agree with that because the movie remakes for the Disney that was originally made in 2D, they are is all goddamn atrocious in and of itself. Even if some of them were good, none of them were, in fact.
I think
good.
it's like, yeah, most of the remakes are just made by a bunch of dumbass boomers who are like still stuck in the past and they can't come up with fresh new shit.
Exactly.
It's really just the writers. The writers, the production team, they trying to appeal to the newer generation with older classics, but just trying to make it new and rebranded. And it's becoming very lazy. It shows that they lack creativity. If they have to use, like for instance, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, they're making a third one. So we had the first one in the 70s, the other one with Johnny Depp, and now there's a third one coming out.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
Well,
you
just
didn't
hope
see
the
the
third
trailer?
one isn't shitty.
No, no one told me
This
about it.
new one is going to be identical to the book.
Oh,
Yep.
Well, damn.
Well, I mean, if those live action remakes are made by a whole bunch of dumbasses, then there goes that concept for the Aristocats live action remake that I tried to film myself with in high school.
Yep, it's called Wonka. It's coming out December
Willy Wonka.
15th. Yeah, December 15th is coming out this year. No, the movie is called Wonka. That's the name of the movie.
Just that. Wonka. Willy Wonka.
Like Wanka, but it's just Wonka. You know what I mean?
Wanka.
Fucking hell, I never thought you
Now I
would say
think
the
we
word
just created
wanker.
a new one. Thank you, TV.
That just
I
something
think we
sounds
just
like something you
created
call
a
your
new
penis.
running joke now. Willy Wanka.
That just sounds like something you call your penis. My wanka.
Oh, God damn it. What have I done?
but yeah, I was about to say earlier, if I took over Disney, I would like remake it into my own image by turning it into like an edgy type style, and not to mention give the studios a lot more creative control.
Now that sounds like what Hollywood producers should normally do, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
I mean, like, to give credit, Rupert Murdoch, when he owned Fox, he gave his movies a lot of a lot of creative control.
We rarely find that in Hollywood. Like, it's mostly the directors and the producers. Like, the story writers are not even getting that much credit.
Yeah, and that's a big shame.
Hence the strike.
God damn it, folks! I never really thought that some of you would even end up using the word wanker. It's so fucking hilarious.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh no!
Willy,
That sounds like a gay porn.
Willy Wonka and the Winking Factory.
It really is.
Oh,
No,
God
that's
damn it,
definitely
no!
a gay porn.
You can't take
Oh
much.
no!
No, oh, come on, Tricky.
Tricky, I swear to God.
Tricky, what is that ice cream?
Yeah,
I'll allow it.
All right, yeah, I'll allow it as long as it's ice cream.
Take a look at the.
For a second
private
there, I thought
chat
that was
just said.
potatoes. I was gonna say, you nasty motherfucker.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Oh my God.
By the way, digging your MTV shit, I love it.
Donka.
thank you.
Oh my God! You can't take much more of this, can you, big boy?
Well, then again, I'm a Paramount guy, so that's why I own these T-shirts.
I know that, Blue. But regardless, bigger boy, you can't take much more of this, can you, bigger boy?
Oh no! I'm fucking love.
Oh man! I swear.
But anyways, sorry, go ahead.
This is so much funner than we actually got that out of the way. God damn it,
Oh my
Slick!
god.
What did
Willie
Caleb
Dong
do?
and the I am not finishing that. Okay, there we go. We'll call it that. Willie Dong and the Ice Baby Factory.
What the fuck?
Well, you've heard it here, folks. That was the first
Hold up.
episode of Beagle Clan. We've covered a lot today. We've covered basically a unexpected divide between what would have happened if Disney had not bought out Marvel, and we went into some dark humor to some dark humor jokes. Thank you to everybody who decided to hop on this stream or anyone watching this afterwards. If you like what you saw, feel free to give a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to say anything, feel free to comment down below. And next time we will be discussing on Mortal Kombat, and we will be having a very special guest, which we will save next time. So therefore,
Can't wait to
have a
see.
good rest of your day, night, whatever time zone that you live in, and we will see you all next time.
Catch you on the
Peace
flip
out.
side. On fleek.
On the next
Catch you on the
episode.
flip side indeed.
Yeah.
I've also before you end this, Beagle Boy, don't end the screen just yet. I would actually be there because of our special guest, obviously, and it would not be fair for me not to be here without a special guest, obviously.
Yeah, once you can coordinate that with me, we will definitely get everything with the 6 of us situated. But until then, see you all next time.
Bye bye.